up guys, how you doing? Josh here from J Media, and I'm here with the Wieldy Stabilizer with the 5D Mark II, and today we're going to talk about something really important, something that I left out in all of my balancing videos. It was a really stupid thing. I don't know why I didn't put it in my videos, but I'm going to talk about it in this video today. I've gotten a few emails about swaying issues. In other words, what we call the pendulum effect. Let's say you balance your stabilizer on your stand or tripod. It looks perfectly fine, and you pick it up and it starts to sway like this. Around and around, a little bit starts to sway. That's called the pendulum effect. And that usually happens when you have not calculated your drop time properly. And what do I mean by drop time? When I say drop time, I'm actually referring to a type of test that we are supposed to take with our stabilizers here. It's pretty much what we call the horizontal to vertical test. And what we do is we flip the stabilizer horizontally, in other words, it will be parallel to the floor, and then we let go of the stabilizer and time how long it takes for the stabilizer to reach the vertical position. Okay, so let's go ahead and test it out. Ready to let go in 3, 2, 1. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000. Okay, so it took about 4 seconds. When we want a perfect stabilizer, we want to have about a 2.5 to 3 second drop time. Now, because I have the lens cap on, it makes the top a little bit heavier than I want. So if I take off the lens cap and I adjust the wings on the bottom of the sled here, if I put it closer together, I should have it balanced pretty well. Let's see. Yeah, it's balanced pretty well. So I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to redo the drop time test. So let's go ahead and test it out. Ready? 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. There we go. We got a perfect 3 seconds there, which means my drop time is good. So let's say you cannot get to the 2.5 to 3 second mark. We're going to have to adjust a few things here. Mainly what people are mistaking is the height of the gimbal. Now the height of the gimbal is really important. And if you look at the GlideCam systems, you'll notice that the gimbal is fixed. They purposely did that so you won't have to worry about drop times as much as you do with the Wieldy or Lang stabilizers or the One-Lands. Okay, so the height of the gimbal really does matter. And the height of the gimbal here is somewhat similar to the height of the gimbal on the GlideCams, maybe a little bit lower because of a different configuration I have here. Now, when you do not reach the 2.5 or 3 second mark, or if you go over the 2.5 or 3 second mark, let's go ahead and talk about how we can make it perfect, okay? So if you're over the 3 second mark, odds are you are going to be way too top heavy. So just like I just showed you, I had the lens cap on, adding a little bit more weight than needed. I took it off and it hit the 3 second mark, okay? So if we don't reach the 3 second mark, if we're under 2.5 seconds or under 3 seconds, we're gonna have to look at our counterweights here, okay? If it's too heavy, it's gonna go down way too fast, okay? And we also have the telescopic post here. You can lift it up or down to add leverage or take away leverage. So let's say you have everything balanced really well on your stand over here. And honestly, if you're about half a second away from 3 seconds, I don't think you really need to worry about the weights too much. I think that should be a secondary option for you. I think you mainly have to worry about the height of the gimbal, because that's usually what people are really having a tough time doing, is managing the gimbal, where it has to be, okay? So I'll give you an estimation about where your gimbal has to be on your Wieldy. So let's say about 2 to 2.5 inches from this mounting unit. I don't know what this is called, but where the base plate mounts onto, it should be about 2 to 2.5 inches away from that, below the gimbal should be 2.5 inches below the this mounting plate here for the base plate, okay? About 2.5 inches. That's an approximation there. Now, what if we want to shoot upside down? That's a really good question. Well, we obviously know that the gimbal has to be a lot lower than that. So let's go ahead and lower the gimbal. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and lower the gimbal here. And let's see how the camera balances. Okay, it goes right down here. Alright, so let me lift it up for you guys. Now let's go ahead and check our dynamic balance. Alright, that's not too good. Which means we have to actually lift the gimbal up a little bit more probably. Let's go ahead and check it again. Still a little bit of wobbling, but a lot less of it. Okay, lower a little bit more. Okay, that's not bad. When you're balancing upside down, it does not have to be as perfect as when you're balancing right side up. Because low angle shots are really quick, you know, they're not too long. Your hand is always holding it here. And honestly, on the Wieldy and Glide cams, it does low angle shots really, really well. A lot better than the Lang. Because the plate system here on the sled is designed really well, actually. It gives you a lot more, what we say, panning inertia. Like I covered in my other videos, how I said that the panning on the Wieldy and Glide cams are a lot stiffer than the Lang. It's because of the design of the plate system here of the sled. Okay, so that's really important to keep in mind. So again, I repositioned the gimbal to balance the camera right side up. It should be about 2 to 2.5 inches away from the mounting plate for the base plate here. And let's see how it balances. Okay, I might have to do a minor few touch-ups here, but you know, you guys get the gist of it. It's pretty good. So overall, when you're having those pendulum effects or swaying issues, check your drop time, alright? Check to make sure you don't have too much weight or not enough weight, alright? But the first thing I really would look at, if we've balanced properly on the stand, is to look at the position of your gimbal. It's really important that we get the position really spot on. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. Please check out my website at www.joshmorganmedia.com. I have some other links on there, and you can check out the kind of equipment I have. Again, I'll tell you that I'm shooting on the Canon XF305. Awesome camera, love it. And you know what? I'll tell you guys a little story about the XF305 and my issues with it in my next video. I had a ton of issues with the Canon XF305, but Canon has been really, really helpful towards me. Really helpful. I actually bought a XF305 used. I've had so many problems with it. It's been to the repair facility probably at least 10 times. And Canon finally gave up and said, okay Josh, we're gonna send you a brand new XF305. And once I got that news, my eyes lit up. I was so happy. So I practically paid a used price for a brand new camera. It was awesome, awesome. But I'll tell you guys the type of issues I was having with the XF305 in my next video. If you guys are interested in that, please leave a comment or email me. But I hope that I fixed your pendulum effect issues with your stabilizer, because this is a really important concept if you want to get steady footage, right? Really important. Alright guys, well thank you so much for checking this video out. Stay tuned for more videos and keep on filming. Thank you.